The Washington Commanders find themselves at a complex crossroads this offseason, one that is shaping up to define the trajectory of the franchise not just in 2025, but for years to come. Following their impressive run to the NFC Championship game last season, expectations have risen dramatically. Fans and analysts alike anticipated that the Commanders would capitalize on that momentum by reinforcing the roster with savvy moves and securing the core talent that brought them to the brink of a Super Bowl appearance. And in many ways, they did just that. But amid the optimism and effort, a cloud has formed over the organization, one with the potential to grow into a storm if not handled delicately and decisively. At the center of that storm is wide receiver Terry McLaurin. McLaurin, affectionately dubbed Scary Terry by fans and known for his discipline, work ethic, and consistency on the field, has chosen to sit out of mandatory minicamp. This wasn't an isolated absence due to personal matters or minor injury. It was a calculated decision, one rooted in ongoing frustration over a stalled contract extension with the only team he's known since entering the NFL. For a player who's been a symbol of stability and reliability through turbulent quarterback situations and coaching changes, this holdout is no small gesture. It sends a message not just to the front office, but to the entire league. McLaurin believes he has earned long-term security, and he's willing to make bold moves to get it. His absence is made all the more striking by the fact that the Commanders otherwise had nearly perfect attendance across the roster. After acquiring left tackle Laramie Tunsil and dynamic wideout Deebo Samuel to bolster the offense, it seemed that the stage was set for quarterback Jayden Daniels to thrive. Daniels, coming off a dazzling rookie campaign, showed poise beyond his years as he led Washington deep into the postseason. McLaurin's presence was a critical element in that journey. His ability to separate against top cornerbacks, convert third downs, and mentor younger teammates made him indispensable. So the question now becomes, what happens if he doesn't come back? Enter an unexpected twist in this saga, rumors of a blockbuster trade proposal that would shake the foundation of not just Washington, but also the AFC North. According to David Hellman of Fox Sports, there is quiet but growing speculation that the Commanders might explore trading McLaurin to the Pittsburgh Steelers in exchange for perennial Defensive Player of the Year candidate T.J. Watt. It's a stunning idea on its surface, swap one of the NFL's top receivers for one of its most dominant pass rushers. But when viewed through the lens of team needs, contract dynamics, and long-term roster planning, it begins to make a strange kind of sense. Watt, like McLaurin, is skipping minicamp amid his own contract-related uncertainty. Though under contract through the 2026 season, the Steelers have reportedly been hesitant to rework Watt's deal before that point. At age 30, Watt still plays with a motor that's virtually unmatched, but the Steelers have undergone a shift this offseason. After sending George Pickens to Dallas and acquiring DK Metcalf, they signaled a more aggressive win-now approach centered around giving Aaron Rodgers the best tools possible in what is expected to be the twilight of his career. And if you're trying to win in 2025 with Rodgers under center, adding a receiver like McLaurin makes a compelling case. For Washington, the prospect of adding what would give defensive-minded head coach Dan Quinn a true game-wrecker at the edge. While the Commanders brought in veteran Dietrich Wise Jr. and Dorrance Armstrong to solidify the defensive line, neither possesses Watt's game-changing explosiveness. Quinn, who made his name coordinating dominant Dallas defenses, knows the value of a consistent pass rush. In an NFC that features the likes of Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts, and Brock Purdy, getting to the quarterback isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. Still, trading away McLaurin would be a seismic decision. Not just from a football standpoint, but also culturally. He's been the team's emotional anchor through rebuilds, quarterback controversies, and coaching overhauls. His departure would undoubtedly spark backlash among fans who've embraced him not just as a playmaker, but as a symbol of everything the organization was finally doing right. To send him away now, at a time when the Commanders are seemingly on the cusp of greatness, risks disrupting the chemistry that helped fuel last season's success. That's where the real debate begins. Is it harder to replace a game-breaking wide receiver or an elite edge rusher? Hellman, for his part, believes it's the latter. With all due respect to Scary Terry, he wrote, I think it's a bit harder to find a DPOY-level edge rusher than an all-pro caliber receiver in today's NFL. And statistically, he has a point. The 2024 NFL draft saw 6 receivers taken in the first round, while only 2 edge rushers came off the board. The modern college game is pumping out pass catchers at an unprecedented rate. But how many of those receivers can lead a team in yards, touchdowns, and third down conversions, all while serving as a locker room leader and mentor? On the flip side, the Commanders' wide receiver room is deeper than it's been in years. The addition of Deebo Samuel adds a versatile threat who can line up anywhere on the field. Michael Gallup, acquired in free agency, provides a vertical option when healthy. And Jalen Lane, a third-round rookie, is already drawing praise for his crisp route running and fearless approach. There's also Curtis Samuel, whose chemistry with Jaden Daniels could provide surprising dividends in the slot. If Washington truly believes that this receiver group can survive without McLaurin, then flipping him for what might be the most strategic way to maximize this competitive window. Yet, one cannot underestimate the importance of continuity, especially for a young quarterback like Daniels. Wide receivers and quarterbacks often develop a rhythm that takes years to build and seconds to lose. Daniels and McLaurin clearly clicked in 2024, with McLaurin serving as a safety valve and deep threat in clutch moments. Removing him from the equation would force Daniels to rebuild that trust and timing with other targets, a tall order for a second-year QB facing elevated expectations. As with any potential trade of this magnitude, contract considerations loom large. McLaurin is entering the final year of a 3-year extension signed in 2022, and he is reportedly seeking a deal that places him among the top 5 earners at his position. That would mean somewhere in the neighborhood of $25 million annually. Meanwhile, Watt's cap hit is set to balloon in 2026, meaning any team acquiring him would need to plan for a renegotiation in the near future. Both players are elite. Both want to be paid like it. But only one is likely to be satisfied in their current situation. All signs point toward a quiet standoff turning louder as training camp approaches. The Commanders are publicly maintaining a position of optimism, with insiders suggesting that GM Adam Peters still hopes to finalize a deal with McLaurin before the regular season begins. But the longer this lingers, the more leverage McLaurin gains. If Daniels struggles without his top target during camp or preseason games, fan pressure will mount. If Washington's pass rush fails to generate consistent pressure in joint practices or early scrimmages, the allure of a Watt acquisition may intensify. Meanwhile, in Pittsburgh, similar conversations are unfolding in hushed tones. The Steelers, flush with veteran talent but thin at receiver, are not in rebuild mode. They're in all-in mode. Rodgers won't be around forever, and after investing heavily in DK Metcalf, they can't afford to come up short due to a lack of weapons. Adding McLaurin would give them a duo that could rival any in the league, a combination of size, speed, hands, and route running that would keep opposing defenses up at night. So, where does this leave us? It's a staring contest. 2 franchises at a critical point. 2 superstars with unresolved futures. 2 fan bases waiting for answers. And 1 potential trade that could change everything. Whether it happens before the season starts, at the trade deadline, or never at all, the mere existence of this possibility reveals just how high the stakes are in today's NFL. McLaurin, for what is more than a hypothetical, it's a philosophical debate about roster construction, championship windows, and the nature of irreplaceable talent. But in the end, there may be a third outcome that satisfies all sides, McLaurin and Watt each receiving the extensions they desire, staying put, and helping their teams chase a title in 2025. For now, though, the silence from minicamp speaks volumes. And every day without resolution brings the league one step closer to a deal that once seemed unthinkable, and now, perhaps, feels inevitable.